Hi everybody, today I'm going to introduce you to Italy's Leonard Cohen. His name is Adriano Celentano, and today's song is Confessor from his vast collection of songs, his huge playlist. But for far too long, many people have contacted me and said, CC, would you do a song of one of our country's greatest singers, Adriano Celentano? And today is that day, and I give to you in time for Christmas my reaction to this song. At the moment, this song is proving extraordinarily popular with the young man from Kazakhstan called Dimash. There's millions of fans around the world, and people are now reacting to him singing it in a talent show. And it was part of he won it in the end, and this was part of that collection of songs that he had sung. He sang a few songs in different languages, one being Italian, and he chose this particular song today that I'm going to feature. So to all the Dimash fans that may be listening to this, because I feature him a lot on my channel, this is the original that Dimash took the song from the playlist and catalogue of music of this particular man. And as I said, I respectfully say that in the West, if we were to compare him, I have made the comparison to Leonard Cohen. Let me give you now a bit of bio about him. Adriano Celentano is an Italian singer, songwriter, comedian, actor, and TV host. He was born in Milan, and he wrote the song in his early days, Ragazzo della Via Clotet, that made him quite famous. His parents were from Puglia and moved north to work, heavily influenced by his idol Elvis Presley and the 1950s rock revolution. He's also known as the most famous dancer of the hula hoop fad. For the past 40 years, he's retained his popularity in Italy, selling millions of records and appearing in numerous TV shows and movies, including short appearance in Fellini's La Dolce Vita, before becoming a famous artist himself. In the latter respect, he's also been a creator of comic genre with its characteristic walking and facial expressions. For the most part, his films were commercially successful. In fact, in the 1970s and part of the 80s, he was the king of the Italian box office, but in low-budget movies. As an actor, critics point to Serafino, 1968, directed by Pietro Germi, as his best effort. As a director, he frequently cast in Ornella Muti, Eleonora Giorgi, and his wife Claudia Murray. His best movie, like director, is Yuppie Doo, winner of the Golden Palm at the Cannes Festival, and he and Claudia are the parents of Rosita, Rosalinda, and Vincent Celentano. I want to say it properly. The latter most notable to worldwide audiences for playing the Satan character in Mel Gibson's The Passion of Christ. So his son is an actor. Wow. He also works often as a host for several Italian television shows. His 1968 song Azzurro has regained popularity again on YouTube, but also back in 2006 I remember it did as well, because it was a theme for the football, the anthem of the Italian national football team, FIFA World Cup. And the artist Vincent Fiorello has also created a remix of the song. I must look out for that. When he did concerts way back in 2012, after 18 years, live concerts, and they were transmitted on Channel 5, this is Italy, over 9 million viewers watched it was separated into 2 evenings, watched both concerts. He's that popular, he's that mega in Italy. In Italian speaking countries, they all know him. I can only say it's a belated welcome to my channel, but better late than never. And your vast collection of music is extraordinary, just like this particular song that we're going to listen to. I have the lyrics in front of me, so afterwards I will give you my interpretation, everybody, as always, of what I think the lyrics are about. Confessor Adriano Celentano, welcome to my channel.
confessa, amore mio, io non sono più il solo, l'unico, hai nascosto nel cuore tuo una storia irrinunciabile. Io non sono più il tuo pensiero, non sono più il tuo amore vero, sono il dolce col fondo amaro che non mangi più. Ma perché tu sei un'altra donna? Ma perché tu non sei più tu? Ma perché non l'hai detto prima? Chi non ama non sarà amato mai. Che ne hai fatto del nostro bene? È diventato un freddo brivido. Le risate, le nostre cene, scene ormai irrecuperabili. Io non sono più il tuo pensiero, non sono più il tuo amore vero, sono il dolce col fondo amaro che non mangi più. Ah, perché tu sei un'altra donna? Ah, perché tu non sei più tu? Ma perché tu non l'hai detto prima? Chi non ama non sarà amato mai. Quando viene la sera e il ricordo pian piano scompare, la tristezza nel cuore apre un vuoto più grande del mare, più grande del mare. Ma perché non l'hai detto prima? Chi non ama non sarà amato mai. E ne hai fatto del nostro amore? È diventato un freddo brivido. Le risate, le nostre cene, scene ormai irrecuperabili. Io non sono più il tuo pensiero, non sono più il tuo amore vero, sono il dolce col fondo amaro che non mangi più.
So there he is walking away with Confessor. What's he confessing to? Let's get straight into the lyrics and find out. Verse 1. Come on, confess, my love. I'm no longer the only one, the sole one. You've hidden in your heart a story that cannot be renounced. It continues. I'm no longer your thought. I'm no longer your true love. I'm the sweet that is bitter inside. which you no longer eat. This is quite a reverse of what I usually do in this channel, because very few songs talk about lost love, and this is what hits me straight away. It's almost he's saying to the partner, come on, be honest, we're together, but you're not thinking of me. When I sleep with you, you roll over, you don't hold me like you used to. The sex between us isn't passionate, it's cold. It's over before it's begun. It's that kind of thing. When we have breakfast, there's nothing but silence. So you almost build an immediate picture of coldness, frostiness from the woman that's with him. And he's just basically saying, I'm the sweet that is now turned bitter. In the beginning it was fun, it was loving, it was great, and now it's like a bittersweet taste in the mouth when you mention my name or think of me. You no longer eat the love I give you. You just refuse to eat. Verse 3, but why are you a different woman? And they're normal questions that would be asked. But why are you no longer you? And why did you not say it before? Who does not love will never be loved. In other words, he's saying to her, I'm loving you. I'm loving you from the heart. And it's given with love. It's not just pretend love to make you feel good and loved. I'm truly loving you. And then with no responses coming back, obviously the question is, but why are you a different woman? Why are you no longer? Nobody can answer that question in life, everybody. People fall in love, fall out of love. And I feel social media has, and magazines, on the millenniums and the younger generation thereafter, right up to the last decade before, the last 20 years, let's say 2 or 3 decades, I've watched teenagers become more fixated about belonging to a group with the same look, the same eyelashes, the same hair when it comes to girls, similar clothes, belonging. And the same with the guys, all the short hair, they all go around in the group, especially here in Dublin I see it. And years ago it was very much not the case. What I do see is individuality, people who are outside those groups, who dress differently, are differently, feel differently, scorned and frowned upon, because I think there's a lot of jealousy. In a group you're part of something, but people don't branch out to be themselves enough. And that develops into relationships, that develops into what kind of people they become. And years ago, it was always the way of you meet somebody, you fall in love, you have a few children, you live together forever and ever. Amen. But now it's just people going into relationships, and no matter what the age group, if they don't like it, they don't talk about it. People have forgotten, and this is my whole point of communication. They're so used to group situations now, they're so used to that when they're on their own and they're in this situation, they just close down emotionally. And so the questions are there. Why are you a different woman? Probably the woman isn't different. It was just now you see this person emotionally when she closes down for what they are. It continues, what did you do? What did you do with the good thing we had? In other words, you're to blame for this. Everything was going great. Suddenly you closed down. So what's going on? It has become a cold shiver. Our laughs, our dinners. As I said before, silent breakfasts, silent dinners. By now, irrecoverable scenes. In other words, my memories are all of doom and gloom, and I can't erase them from my mind. So it continues, I'm no longer your thought. So he tells it straight, I'm no longer your true love. I'm the sweet that is bitter inside, which you no longer eat. In other words, you don't want me. But why are you a different woman? So he goes back to those questions, because you do torture yourself when this kind of shutdown happens. You go, is it me? What can I do? What is happening? All of that goes around in your head. And you're not to blame for it. If the other person is shutting down, let them shut down. You need to step back and say, goodbye, ciao, ciao Bella. Nope, This isn't what I wanted from a relationship. If you shut down, that's fine. Good luck, go away. You really need to be that strong to do that, because otherwise you put so much physical and mental effort into asking so many questions that you yourself become ill. And that person isn't worth you becoming ill. You've given them love, you've shown them everything. If they've shut down, it needs to be like that. They need to be taught a lesson in life. This is not what you do to people. You sit and you speak and you be honest, instead of asking all those questions. And then it says, but what did you not say? Why did you not say it before? So there you go. Exactly what I've said. And who does not love will never be loved. In other words, if you don't accept love like this, you may never find love like this again. It continues, what did you do with the good thing we had? It has become a cold shiver. Our laughs, our dinners now irreconcilable and irrecoverable thoughts and feelings we'll never get back have disappeared to be replaced by doom and gloom. And it continues, I'm no longer your thought, I'm no longer your true love. I'm the sweet that is bitter inside, which you do not eat. But why did you not say it before? Who does not love will not be loved. So in other words, he's consoling himself with, okay, I can't ask any more questions. She didn't say it before, this is how she is. But you know what? She'll never find a love like mine. And that's basically what I feel Confess is about. In other words, confess to me what you feel. And too many people, because of social media and the way people think today in groups, can't think as individuals. So when they're in relationships, they can't relate. They're just, and it doesn't matter what age group they are. The last 20, 30 years, this has been the way for a lot of people. I hope you're not in that situation. If you are, step back, take a breath and say goodbye. That's my advice. Thanks for listening, everybody. And thank you, Adriano Celentano, for confessing this song to me and for me giving you my interpretation. Don't forget to like and comment in the comments below. Ciao bellas.